Welcome to episode 205 of the Sisters in Loss podcast. When you suffer the loss of a baby, there's no formula or checklist to grieve and heal. Grief is such a unique journey that presents itself differently in each individual. Life after loss can be a roller coaster of emotions filled with anxiety, anger, sadness, and love frustrated. Today's guest is using her loss experience to bring light and truth to the struggles faced by Black and Brown women as they quietly struggle through miscarriage, infant loss, and infertility. Theresa Mitchell is using her voice to create a documentary on life after loss. And in this episode, she shares how she suffered three miscarriages, had a rainbow baby, and discusses the struggles, complications, and the inadequate care Black and Brown birthing people face in hospitals and wellness centers all over America and around. Today's episode is for you to listen to if you want to learn how to navigate life after loss. Be sure to check out the show notes for a free downloadable life after loss guide. Here is Theresa Mitchell. Welcome, Theresa, to the podcast.
Thanks. Thanks for having me, Erica.
You're welcome. So, I would love for you to share a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Hi, I am an executive producer slash writer for a documentary, an up and coming documentary called Life After Loss. It's a documentary sharing my loss of my three miscarriages and also telling other women's stories, talking about the healthcare system, the disparities between Black and Brown women when it comes to giving birth, having birth, and just trying to get pregnant.
Yes, but we all know that you have a story that inspired you to start this documentary that you're working on. So take us back on your journey to motherhood and share with us a little bit of your story.
Yes, my story is overwhelming. I am one out of four women that will have a miscarriage. I had a miscarriage in 2011. That was my first. I was 15 weeks. My second was in 2014. I was 18 weeks. And my third was 19 weeks, and that was in 2016. My first miscarriage, I didn't know what was going on. Just woke up one morning, and my water broke. I thought that maybe I was just, probably heavy or something was going on in my body, but I didn't know. And then I rushed to the doctor and they told me I was having a miscarriage. They didn't tell me why. They just told me I might have an incompetent cervix, but they didn't over give me more information regarding that. So they told me only way they can know is if I get pregnant again. So me being young, not knowing anything, I got pregnant again. So super excited for this one because it took me a long time to have the courage to have another baby. So when I did decide on having a baby in 2014, it happened again. 18 weeks. I was feeling kind of leakage down there, but I didn't know exactly what was going on. Then it finally happened where it was leaking a little bit too much. I ran to the emergency room. They told me, like, oh, it's just probably you're a little wet, but you're not, about to lose a baby. So there I got an appointment with the high risk doctor on Thursday. It was actually a Saturday. He booked me into seeing him doing a consult on Thursday. Tuesday morning, I just kept leaking. And then I went to the emergency room and he was like, oh my God, you're having a miscarriage. And I was like, oh, not again. Now my world is just like, why is this happening to me? What's going on? Now they finally telling me I have an incompetent cervix, but it can be fixed if we do a transvaginal discharge if you get pregnant again. And I'm like, I don't want to get pregnant again. I just want you to fix it now. And they was like, no, you're fine. You can just have a transvaginal and you can have another baby. Here we go. Third pregnancy, 2016. I got the transvaginal discharge. When I got that done, it was just like so overwhelming because I didn't know it was going to help. I was just so nervous. I was just so scared. I was still dealing with my two pregnancy losses. Now having a baby now was just like, what is going on? And then it happened again. I got an infection. This time, it wasn't due to the incompetent cervix. It was due to the infection. And now I had to, what they call it, a somatic abortion. Had to make this tough decision Either I'm going to save my life, or if I want to kill both of us. And if I keep the affection in me longer, I might die and the baby's going to die. So I had to make this hard decision to terminate the pregnancy, to get the affection out and regroup and get myself back together. When that happened, I wanted to just die. I wanted to not even sit in the room and talk about it. I didn't want to share my story. I didn't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I just didn't know what to do. I was just like, three babies gone. Why is this happening? I had so many questions, so many answers not being asked. It was just too much until I finally was like, you know what? I need to share my story. I know I'm not the only one. And then I got the courage of talking to one lady, and she told me maybe it is your incompetent cervix. You can probably do a trans abdominal cyclage. And I was like, what was that? She was like, it's a surgery that ties up the top portions of your cervix. And I was like, wow, okay, where can I get this done at? And she was like, there's only a few doctors that do it. So at the time I was living in Florida. Nobody in Florida could recommend me to somebody to do it in Florida. So I had to travel all the way to New York City to have it done by a Black doctor. She was an OBGYN doctor, and she did it. And I got a trans abdominal cyclage, and then I had my rainbow baby. But through all that difficulty of processing everything, I was just like, I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one that's feeling grief, loss, hopelessness, angry, sad, unwilling to have somebody tell me I can't do something, but I know I could. Having my questions not answered, that was a no no for me. Like, I wanted to get everything that I know I deserve, but how do I have the resources to get it? And for me, just advocating for myself, for me just talking about it, I found the answers that I'm longing for. And now that I am coming to terms of just understanding what I had to go through, I definitely wanted to share my story and share other women's stories. So that's my little thing.
Yeah. So tell us about your rainbow babies journey, your pregnancy after loss. How was that journey for you? Did you experience some of the same anxieties and fears that you had in your previous pregnancies up until, when you actually had the losses in the second trimester? And then how did the rest of that journey through that pregnancy go for you?
So my journey with having my daughter was, it was a lot of anxiety, a lot of built up being denied coming home with a baby. So when I got pregnant, I was just so feeling like, oh man, I'm about to lose this baby again. So every time I went to the doctor, my blood pressure would go up. And I was like, this is not normal. I'm okay. I feel fine. When I'm home, I'm fine. But when I come here, I'm not fine. Because I think I was just scared of knowing that you're going to say that I'm about to lose her. And I had to find a way how to project this negative energy and make it to something positive. So when I was pregnant with her, I went to go see a therapist. And my friends were telling me, why are you going to see a therapist while you're pregnant? I said, because I think I am traumatized from the fact that I had lost three babies, and every time I come from the hospital, I'm coming home with a box. That is not a good feeling at all. And every time I go to the doctor, my blood pressure is extremely high because I'm just feeling like so overwhelmed, and you telling me something negative. I can't just remember me sitting in the bathroom with my last pregnancy just crying. And the doctor was just knocking on the door telling me it's going to be okay, you're going to be all right. But I didn't want to hear that at that time. So, me carrying her, I was like, this is too much negative energy that I'm projecting on her, and it has to change. So, when I went to therapy, she told me that it's okay not to be okay. And it's all right to have all these feelings and emotions, but how do we address these feelings and emotions? And I was just like, I don't know. I'm just scared of losing her. And She was like, I just need you to do something for me. I need you to go home and watch something funny just to keep your mind off of it, just to keep your energy and your positivity going. Just go home and self care for you. Watch something funny, eat something good. She's like, I don't care how bad it might taste or it's not good for you. I just want you to go home and just make sure you okay. So I went home. I watched Martin, the whole episode, a whole series of Martin, and I laughed the whole time I was pregnant. I watched Martin, I watched the Wayans brothers, I watched Bernie Mac show. Like I just wanted to keep myself laughing and positive to having her, and trying to keep my mind okay with the fact that I'm actually going to have a rainbow baby. And when I gave birth to her, it was just like this amazing feeling that I don't even know. Like every time I watch her, she's 2 now. Every time I watch her, I'm like, Jesus, I did this. I'm just so amazed. And I'm proud of myself, but then sometimes I'm like, oh man, I went through so much just to have her. And I definitely want to tell the story so she know that she was loved from the time of conception till now. Like she is just my pride and joy. She's my rainbow. She's my angel. She's my miracle. She is just one of those little persons that I just want to hold all the time, even though she tells me, Mommy, no. But I fought hard to have her. I went through shots to have her in each butt cheek every Monday. And I'm still going to therapy just to, keep processing it. But just to get that feeling to be like, oh, I had her. I'm like super excited, I think. I know. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And I'm so happy that you shared your journey through therapy and counseling and being able to express yourself to someone else who's unbiased as you navigated that journey. But as you mentioned, this led you to wanting to share your story on a different platform and stories of other women and parents who have gone through this. So what was your inspiration and why did you choose to want to share it through a documentary form?
I think my inspiration was you don't see anything like us. You don't see Black women expressing themselves as far as telling their stories, even if they had a good pregnancy, a bad pregnancy, or miscarriage or loss. We don't talk about it. And my thing is, why? We go to therapy, we have our conversations with our girlfriends, and I understand that it's probably sad to talk about, but once you start talking about it, it gets a little better. And I met a lot of women over the years, especially my family, my friends, and my friends' friends and their family. And we all get together and we talk, but it's never seen mainstream. Like you can read an article about it, you can probably see a movie that touch a little bit about it, or a series that touch a little bit about it, but they don't actually have that in-depth conversation or have somebody to change the narrative that Black women supposed to be strong. Like Black women can do this and they are right. All they got to do is pray about it. No, I just wanted to have ourselves to have this conversation and to have the ability to be okay, not to be okay.
Yes. So tell us about the documentary, where you are in your stages, if people want to be a part of it. Give us all the deets.
So the details are we are trying to film either in the end of April to the beginning of May. Hopefully, COVID will allow us. But this project is about women and men telling their stories about loss, miscarriages, men on their side talking about how they felt when either they lost or either they had a baby or tried to support their woman and didn't have an opportunity to, or women just want to share their stories even if they are had a miscarriage or had some type of loss, or even if they struggling to have a baby and want a baby, and it's just something that is not, you know, helping them in their struggles. Come on and talk about it. We are here. We are here to listen to you, and we want to open up the interview process where other women like you conceit is, and hopefully get some knowledge, some research, and some resources out there for them.
Yes, absolutely. So, what other tools or resources that you have used to help you really navigate your journey to where you are now?
Resources is a lot of therapy. We just started this project last year, and the resources that we have now is talking to doulas as yourself, and we just had come to the understanding we didn't know anything about doulas. You ladies are amazing. I just want to put it out there. I didn't know that y'all deal with fertility, grief, postpartum. Like, you guys are out there putting in the work and getting women to understand the process of their bodies. And you guys are our resources. Like, I didn't know anything about what was going on until we started talking to you guys. All I knew growing up was midwives. I thought you had to have money to have midwives, and I thought you had to be in a certain type of bracket just to have a midwife. But now talking to you guys, like, no, doulas is all around. Doulas can help you process whatever you're going through at your stage of life, even if it's trying to get pregnant, after pregnancy, during pregnancy, whatever is going on with you, they are there. And now we're talking to a few doctors that on a clinician side that feels like this story needs to be told, because we are 1 out of 3 Black women in America that would die at the hands of childbirth, or 1 out of 4 will have a miscarriage. So we need to change this narrative. We need to embrace it. We need to put more resources out there. We need to change things in the healthcare system that we know that it's systemic racism in the healthcare system, and also hopefully change some bills and get some legislators and some policies changed so it can help our Black and brown and all women around the world, especially in America, to bring home healthy babies.
Absolutely. So, where can we learn more about you and this documentary? Can we get in contact with you for those who may be interested in participating? Let us know the details.
Yes, if you want to tell your story or have somebody that you think that will want to tell your story, please reach out to me. It's T Mitchell, TMITCHELL 4544 at yahoo.com. You can also call me at 718-506-2707. Just in case, if you don't want to email me, you can actually really call me. I am here. We are here. We are trying to interview and talk to a lot of women this month and next month. And or if it's men too, if they want to join, or grandmothers, anybody that wants to share their story, share their experience, or know somebody's experience and wants to share theirs if they're not comfortable. Here we are open space. We are here to listen. We are here to commend you of being strong to actually tell your story, because it's hard. Because me, I'm still trying to get comfortable telling my story. But you can reach me at 718-506-2707 or T Mitchell 4544 at yahoo.com. And the documentary is called Life After Loss.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Theresa, for being on a podcast and sharing about your upcoming documentary. And we'll have to get you back up here once it is live.
Thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. There are so many ways to connect with the Sisters in Loss community. Join our monthly support group, our Sisters in Loss Healing Collective at sistersinlosshealing.com. Join our free Facebook group at sistersinloss.com/community, or text sisters to 797979 to download your free Journal to Healing ebook. That is sisters to 797979 to download your free Journal to Healing ebook. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Sisters in Loss, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, girl, we on YouTube at Sisters in Loss TV. We love you for listening. Keep the faith. Until next time,
This is Erica, and I'll talk to you soon.